Every day, something dramatic happens in the Caribbean that affects our lives. We'll give you the details. We'll give you the facts on Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick. Here's Eddie Frederick.
Welcome to Caribbean Perspective. So glad you can join us. The story that takes the lead in today's edition for Monday, 13th January 2025, and brought to you in association with our friends at Antillean Group. All 21 elected People's National Movement members of Parliament signed on to support Stuart Young for Prime Minister. Details after this important message.
Believe in our strength, we'll stand by you. Protection from all perils big and small. Reassurance we give, it's so clear to see. Peace of mind, that's our service guarantee. We look after all our family. Yes, we do at every opportunity.
Antillean Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.
Welcome back. At the conclusion of Saturday's General Council meeting of the ruling People's National Movement in Trinidad and Tobago, Prime Minister-designate Stuart Young left Balize House assured of the support of all 21 elected MPs on the PNM side of the House for the post of Prime Minister to replace Dr. Keith Rowley when he retires from frontline politics. In the meantime, the outcome matches the prediction of several of the PNM MPs as they walked into the General Council meeting on Saturday last. TTT News has more.
Minister of Rural Development and Local Government Faris Alwari stressed that this meeting is part of the party's regular schedule.
Since 1956, we've been having General Council meetings, and we continue to do that. We're outside Balize House for a General Council meeting, it's an ordinary meeting. In the process of having this meeting today, obviously, business can be raised in the context of general business. The reason that we're here today is that this party has a very strong constitution. It has a very strong understanding of democracy. I'm very confident that we're on a very secure and stable footing. I look forward to the deliberations here. All of us here assembled stand for the People's National Movement with complete solidarity.
Minister of Foreign and CARICOM Affairs Dr. Amy Brown had similar sentiments.
This is the second highest decision-making level body within the People's National Movement. So General Council is serious business. We meet every month, and a lot has transpired, as you all know, since our last General Council meeting. And I anticipate much of that will be discussed through democratic fashion. There will be analysis, deliberation. When that meeting is over, I anticipate we will emerge stronger, more unified, ready for the next general election, and for all of the matters.
Nominations for any particular seat, sir?
I'm not here to talk about that as yet.
Members of the General Council's executive are expected to address the media later this evening.
In this Tobago Update report with Candice Jackson, former Minority Leader Ashworth Jack is questioning Stuart Young's ability to serve as Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago effectively.
Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley recently announced Young as his successor, revealing plans to resign soon. This decision has sparked controversy within the PNM as it bypasses the party's traditional process of selecting a new leader. Reporter Candice Jackson has more details.
Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley's decision to appoint MP Stuart Young as his successor following a PNM parliamentary caucus has caused disarray within the party. Several stalwarts have expressed dissatisfaction, arguing that if Dr. Rowley intended to step down, he should have allowed the party's internal elections, which were postponed in 2024, to determine his successor democratically. However, former Minority Leader Ashworth Jack believes the situation will not significantly affect the PNM.
They will get out one way or the other. They will get out.
Jack's main concern is whether Young is the best man for the job.
Is it that this person is the most competent person in the government? And if that is the case, then you tell me the government hardly have any competent people, because he was Minister of National Security. We see what happened there. Ministry of Energy, we see what happened there. So it is not that this is a case of outstanding competence.
Instead, Jack believes that this was a strategic move by Dr. Rowley to secure Young's position as his successor in both the government and the PNM.
Everybody knew from day one that Stuart Young was the Prime Minister's boy. That he was a choice.
Jack believes it is almost as if Dr. Rowley is forcing the PNM's hand.
But I think the reason the Prime Minister have held on to the position of political leader is that nobody could touch Stuart in the period, at least until September. So it gives them enough time to go to a poll and to see if Stuart could win.
With Dr. Rowley remaining as head of the party, Jack theorized that this arrangement would allow Young to be properly mentored for the role.
It is very strategic to say, this is who I want, and I am going to show you that this person can perform. And therefore, let me make the room. I'll be still there to groom, to guide, because there'll be a Prime Minister in name and then there'll be a Prime Minister in power.
According to media reports from Trinidad, concerns about Young's selection process were raised at the PNM Central Executive meeting on Thursday. However, no resolution was reported. The party's General Council is scheduled to meet on Saturday, where it is expected that the issue will be addressed further. Candace Jackson, Tobago Updates, Television News.
You're listening to Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick, in association with our friends at
Antillean Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.
For the first time since the People's National Movement's Parliamentary Caucus chose Stuart Young to be the next Prime Minister over her, Penelope Beckles has broken her silence. Here's more from Carissa Lee.
Member of Parliament for Arima Penelope Beckles may not have been in the mood to speak on Monday, moments after she narrowly lost the vote to be the next Prime Minister of this country to Port of Spain North St. Anne's West MP Stuart Young. But 4 days later, the rejected MP gave her first public comment and said regardless of the result, she's putting the party first.
I mean, there was Minister Young and myself. And one of the important things as persons who have been in the politics a very long time, especially myself, my commitment is to the party.
Following Monday's announcement that Young will be Dr. Rowley's successor as Prime Minister, there were reports of a fallout among party members over the process. So all eyes were on yesterday's Central Executive meeting. But at the opening of the NCD Prevention and Retreat Center in Blanchisseuse, Beckles told CNC3 News that the meeting at Balize House was not unusual, and that she anticipates the end result of Saturday's General Council meeting, where members may get a say on the caucus's vote.
We understand that, things like that happen, but the critical thing is that as somebody who has served a very long time, started off in local government, for me, the party always comes first. So we discuss the things as we discussed yesterday, and we all look forward to tomorrow's General Council meeting and the outcome.
Beckles, who challenged Dr. Rowley for leadership of the PNM in May of 2014, said politics remains her calling. And while she did not get her nod against Young, she said the PNM makes room for equality.
The party has allowed a process. We have an extremely strong women's league, and they have allowed a process. So I think there's absolutely no reason for anybody to be sad. And I enjoy the politics. I enjoy serving.
Meanwhile, when asked about a possible fallout amongst members of the party, MP for St. Joseph Terence Dialsing said there was no such thing.
This is politics. We are big people making serious decisions.
The PNM had their cabinet retreat at the Tobago Plantation on Sunday and Monday. Carissa Lee, CNC3 News.
The Biden administration in the U.S. increased the reward offered for Venezuela's Nicolas Maduro to $25 million. More in the CBS News item with Ivan Taylor.
Glory for the brave people of Venezuela is the name of a rally that is about to start right here in the city of Doral. They expect hundreds to show up. A very complex day for this community because Besides everything that happened in their homeland, the Biden administration also extended TPS for hundreds of thousands. We talked to one of them.
It's a great relief for us as Venezuelans that the TPS got extended 18 more months.
Verona Sequeira tells me she's been living in South Florida for 4 years. She and 600,000 Venezuelans would benefit from a decision by the Biden administration to extend the temporary protection status known as TPS. It is not a path to citizenship.
For me, it means a lot that we are able to be here, to work here legally, and we are protected, that we're not going to be deported. We like to do things right.
It's been a bittersweet day for Venezuelans in South Florida. They witnessed how Nicolás Maduro, who has ruled their country since 2013, was sworn in for 6 more years.
He's not even re-elected, so the reality is we need to take him down.
For 5 months, Venezuela's opposition has published thousands of voting tallies claiming that their candidate, Edmundo González, had actually won the vote with 67% against Maduro's 30%. The presidential elections were on July 28th. At El Arepaso, another Venezuelan landmark, the news about U.S. increasing the reward of $25 million to capture Nicolás Maduro, his vice president and defense minister, caused mixed emotions.
It's a way of saying we're with you. We understand what you guys are facing. I'll be honest, I'm not expecting for something to happen today.
Nothing happened, okay, for years, okay? United States, the world, have to take real and effective actions.
Opposition leader Maria Corina Machado, who was arrested by Maduro's military forces and then released after showing up at a rally at Venezuela's capital on Thursday, addressed Venezuelans today through this post on social media. When I left the huge rally in Caracas, I rode a motorcycle that took me there. I heard shots and we were intercepted. I was abruptly removed from the motorcycle and placed on another one. I was injured on one of my legs, but today I am fine and I will continue fighting for Venezuela. Ivan Taylor, CBS News, Miami.
Guyana's government's diversity policy challenged in court. Allegations of blatant racial discrimination within the Guyana police force have been brought to light by a senior officer currently facing fraud-related charges. The officer made these claims before the High Court judge while challenging the government's diversity policy. HGP's Travis Chase has more on this contentious issue.
A $1.6 billion lawsuit has been filed against the government of Guyana by embattled Assistant Commissioner of Police Calvin Brutus. Mr. Brutus is seeking several declarations and orders from the High Court, claiming that he was racially discriminated against in favor of an East Indian under the government's diversity policy of the Guyana Police Force. In court documents seen by Nightly News, Brutus alleges that he was removed from the acting position of Deputy Police Commissioner Administration, which he had served in from August 16, 2020 to July 4, 2024, and sent to head Special Branch, the intelligence gathering arm of the law enforcement agency. According to court documents, Brutus claims that on July 4, 2024, the police commissioner Clifton Hicken informed him that Vice President Barra Jagdeo directed that he be transferred to Special Branch to allow for then Assistant Commissioner Ravindranath Budram to gain experience in administration. Quote, "The decision to have me replaced by Assistant Commissioner Ravindranath Budram was based on race," unquote. Mr. Brutus further alleges that in the last quarter of 2020, at a meeting involving President Ali, Vice President Barra Jagdeo, ministers of government, Commissioner of Police Clifton Hicken, and other government officials, a directive was given by the Vice President that the structure of the Guyana Police Force should mirror the ethnic composition of the population in Guyana. This would be reflected in areas such as recruitment, promotions, and training. It was described as the government diversity policy, according to Brutus. Brutus explained that the result of the policy was, quote, "to line up officers of East Indian descent for top positions in the Guyana Police Force," unquote. Brutus said he expressed his frustrations to the Commissioner of Police as well as Minister of Home Affairs Robeson Ben at the weekly statutory meetings on several occasions about the effect of the government diversity policy. Brutus said in court documents that, quote, the government sidelined hundreds of Afro-Guyanese who were better candidates for certain roles in preference to Indo-Guyanese officers in order to meet the diversity quota, unquote. The Assistant Commissioner of Police is on administrative leave, pending the hearing and determination of more than 200 fraud-related charges. Travis Chase, HGP Nightly News.
I am Eddie Frederick. This has been Caribbean Perspective, a whole new approach to highlighting developments in the Caribbean.
In the meantime, please follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel for daily regional news and more, in association with our friends at Antillian Group.
Believe in our strength, we'll stand by you. Protection from all perils, big and small. Reassurance we give, it's so clear to see. Peace of mind, that's our service guarantee. We look after all our family. Yes, we do at every opportunity.
Antillian Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.